Hello and welcome to How to Automotive. In today's video, we're going to be featuring brand new Milwaukee Tools M18 Fuel Mid-Torque, the second generation. So stay tuned for that. All right, like I said, this is the brand new second generation Mid-Torque, and I'm going to walk over a few specs on the tool, and then we're going to put it right to work. That way we can determine, is it the right tool for you? We'll also do a couple comparisons to the original Gen 1 version. As you can see, this sucker is well used and we put it to work. And so we're gonna be able to tell right away if this is a better tool than the Gen 1, how much better it is, and is it worth you picking up the Generation 2 and possibly get a great deal on a Generation 1? Would it still be worth getting the original version? So the Generation 2 Milwaukee Tools Mid-Torque features 100 foot-pounds more of tightening torque at 550. The original Generation 1 put out 450 tightening foot-pounds of torque. The new second generation is bumped up to 550 foot-pounds of torque, so they've already bumped it up. They both had the same amount of reverse torque at 600 foot-pounds of torque. The second generation also features an upgraded LED light system. It's more like a ring light going around with 3 LED lights. Much brighter than the original version and much more usable. You'll see that in the when we put it to work. The original version had 3-mode control, which controlled the RPM range, from around 1200, 1900, and 2500, around there. And so the second generation is pretty much the same with one extra added mode, which is mode 4 here. This is one of my favorite little features on it, and we'll show you that when we put it to work. So this is the start-stop mode. So what it does is, as soon as you hit the trigger, it takes off a fastener at full power, and as soon as it detects the fastener has broken loose, it slows down. So that way, if you're using a wobbly socket or something, it doesn't fling your fastener off when you get it going. And the other, also in the tightening mode, on the same mode 4, it allows you to run the fastener down and just until it makes contact with our seat and it stops hammering and stops. That way you can put a torque wrench on it and torque it down. The tool comes in with the battery at 5 pounds, which is a pretty light tool. The overall size of the tool is 6 inches from the tip of the anvil to the back of the tool. They also changed the angle of the handle here a little bit, which pushed the battery back a little bit, which gives you a little bit more clearance in the front here, making it a little bit more usable on certain applications. So like I mentioned, they changed the angle of the handle. Here we are measuring it with a straight edge from the tip of the anvil to the bottom of the battery here, and we got 1 3/4 inches of clearance here, and this is on the second generation model. On the original model here, from the tip of the anvil to the bottom here, we only had about 1 1/4, so we gained a 1/2 inch of clearance at the bottom here. So you can see here with the Gen 1, with the fully unseated into the socket here onto the rim, the battery has very little to no clearance at the bottom at the rim, so I almost have to angle it a little bit to get the lug nut. On the Generation 2, I have about a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch gap here because of that angle change. So with the angle change on the handle, we're going to be able to get it into much more spaces. And what that means is we don't have to use deep sockets or extensions to get it the clearance we need, like we see here with this Gen 1. So I had to put a deeper socket to get the clear. So with the two tools side by side, you can tell that they shaved off about 3/4 of an inch from the original version to the new version here. So both of the tools feature the Power State brushless motors in this and the red lithium ion battery packs. So what that means is the tool is talking to the battery pack and the battery pack is talking to the tool. That way you don't overheat and have malfunction. So those are the basic specs of the new tool. We're going to put it to work right now and see if it's the right tool for you and see if it really is a lot better than the Gen 1 version. So the first thing I got to do was a brake job. So I busted off the wheels with it. It had no problems with the lug nuts. This is not going to be a video about removing a whole bunch of lug nuts. So one of my favorite features on both Gen 1 and Gen 2 is the variable trigger that it has. It allows you to take off a small fastener like this with a huge amount of power, so I can control it with the variable trigger. Sometimes brake caliper bolts can be tough, and as you can see, it ripped both of these fasteners out with no problem. So with 600 foot-pounds of breakaway torque, there's no doubt that this thing is powerful and can do just about anything. But what's most impressive about it is when you work with small fasteners, such as this little cover here, it takes them off, or you have enough control that you're not snapping everything off. What I like about both generations, especially the Generation 2, is it's small enough and light enough that you can use it in the engine bay here to do just about everything from, you know, big time work such as loosening subframe bolts to taking off an air snorkel. And you also have these modes here that you can control the torque, so you can press it like mode 1 here and drastically drop the torque and RPMs way down that is more usable on small fasteners. So by pressing the button at the base of the handle here, I can change the modes. I just put it in mode 1 here. That's going to slow the RPMs down to around 1250 RPMs and drop the torque down, because I don't need a massive amount of torque to take these little 12mm bolts off. So if you look at the fasteners that I'm reinstalling on the shield, you can see how well lit up they are. And that's from the 3 LED lights on the tip of the gun. The old version barely lit that up, actually created shadows. It does a much better job of lighting the area up that you're tightening or loosening. Now I'm going to demonstrate the mode 4 here, which is the reverse mode. And what I'm doing is working on these really small fasteners here, and I don't want to sling them. So what I'm doing is I'm going to switch the modes here to mode 4. And as soon as I hit that trigger, it's going to take it off at full power. And as soon as it senses it rotating, it slows the RPMs down to about 1200 RPMs. And that drastically reduces the risk of flinging the fastener or even snapping the fastener off. So right here, what I'm doing is removing the ignition coils so I can take off the valve cover. And I'm using this tool to do as many jobs as I can and demonstrate that for you, that you can use it all day on all kinds of applications. So here is mode 4 on the reverse going back in. So as you can see, as I hit the trigger, it runs in, and as soon as it senses it bottomed out, the tool automatically stops. I'm not doing that with the trigger, it's doing it all by itself. That way I'm not over torquing any of these fasteners. Then I can put a torque wrench on it or a regular ratchet and tighten those down to whatever you want or need. So you could use mode 4 on something like this hose clamp here on this air snorkel here. It just ran it into it was snug. Now you can finish up tightening it up with a screwdriver or a ratchet to this tightness that you like. This is a great feature for people new to power tools. That way you're not over tightening or breaking any fasteners. On this clip here, I'm removing a thermostat housing. And if you look how I'm holding my arm straight out, the tool is light enough where it's not really putting a whole lot of strain on my shoulders and forearms while I'm doing this. And that's going to be important to you if you're using the tool all day. So in this next clip, I'm using it to remove motor mounts, and it has a mix of small and large fasteners. This is a 10mm fastener here that I'm removing. Then it had a 13mm fastener. And that's one of the things I love about the 3/8 version. It's powerful enough to take off wheels and motor mounts and subframe bolts, but also you can use those small fasteners, those 3/8 drive fasteners, and and Torx bits and all that stuff will mount onto the tool, and you can use it to remove all these fasteners. So most of those bolts I just removed were 17mm, and I had no extension or anything and took them off no problem. But when you start adding extensions, that reduces and robs a lot of torque. And as you can see, it still had enough power to take these bolts off. These are also 17mm. So by using an impact to remove this engine mount, it made super quick work of swapping this out. So I just now got it all unbolted. Now I just work it out of the vehicle, slap in the new one, tighten everything back down. So I put that motor mount in. Now I'm able to just run those fasteners down real quick and mount them up real quick. It made a job like this really easy using this tool. So a lot of subframe and motor mount bolts can be pretty tight, and a lot of times they have Loctite on the threads. And as you can see here, I made quick work of all of these. So the top engine mount, this torque mount here on the bottom, and the transmission mount, it all called for just under 2.5 hours, or right around 2.5 hours. And I made such quick work of this. I did it all in probably about 40 minutes. And I only had to use one tool and a couple wrenches to get all these out. This is small enough to get in here, in this battery tray here I'm removing. So having the 3/8 is really one of my favorites because I have the most socket options. And I can swap out, like I said, from a 10mm all the way up to 24mm on my 3/8 drive here. And if I need something bigger, I can put an adapter on it and use 1/2 inch drive. and you can use it to take off axle nuts, crank pulley bolts. It has enough power to do just about everything you throw at it. There's going to be occasional nut and bolt and fastener that you're going to run across that's a little too tight for it, and you pop out the high torque and you rip it off. But for the most part, this tool will handle just about everything you throw at it. The original version, Gen 1, would too. It's just as powerful as this. So the Generation 2 has a way better lighting system. The Mode 4 is awesome for not flinging the fasteners, and that's an advantage over the Generation 1. The Generation 1 had a variable trigger that you could use to slow the removal of fasteners and tightening down. You can control it as this does the Generation 2. So both tools are awesome if you're in the market for either one. Generation 1 will most likely go on sale or drop drastically in price now that Generation 2 is coming out. So if you already own Gen 1, you can determine yourself from this video clip if it's worth the upgrade for you. If you don't have either one of the tools, either one would be an awesome option. You couldn't go wrong with either one. The Generation 1 will most likely drop in price and would be an awesome option to add to your collection. If this is something you would like to add to your collection, I will leave links for it down in the description of the video. I'm Brian Esser from How To Automotive. I'd like to thank you guys for watching, encourage you to subscribe, invite you to head over to the howtoautomotive.com website for more valuable videos like this. And thank you again for watching.